Russian troops have occupied this industrial area. At least in these 3 buildings, they were hiding. Tanks move at the first, followed by APC and infantry fighting vehicles. The APC opened fire. The tank also attacked the building. It was an accurate hit. The second shell is being loaded. Shots were fired. All right, armored vehicles are entering this area. The infantry troops were immediately deployed. And see what happens next. It will be interesting. The enemy must not have a chance to react and fight back. One by one, Ukrainian troops cleared the area. After destroying the first building, the tank attacked the second building. One more shot. Reload. Shot. The tank destroyed the remains of a possible Russian hiding place. His mission is complete. The assault force will finish the rest. The tank is retreating. From the drone's view, we see him retreat and slowly leave the war zone. Elsewhere, we see a bizarre moment when Russian tanks open fire on their own troops during an ambush in Ukraine. This is a convoy of Russian armored vehicles attempting to overrun a Ukrainian position. But this method has been used countless times. Have they truly not learned from their mistakes? Or perhaps following orders from their command is more important than survival? Whatever the reason behind this attack, the result remains the same. Although Russia's goal is simply to push Ukraine out of its position, its advances often fail. Because of this same method, Russia ends up losing more of its armored vehicles. Look, this is an old Russian T-64 tank that was also destroyed in the attack, and Russia doesn't have many new tanks. Elsewhere, a Ukrainian FPV drone chases and attacks a Russian APC from behind. The APC immediately stops and becomes the target of another drone. Other targets are also hit along the way. Ukraine throws the Russian invasion force into disarray with this precision attack, causing a stalemate between them. Some vehicles from the Russian assault group are seen stopping. This could block the path of other vehicles. The stopped troops then sought cover. Surveillance drone footage shows the damaged vehicle unable to move. This Russian tank attempted to leave the battlefield, but failed to notice the hole ahead and became trapped. Most likely, in their panic, the tank crew failed to notice the hole and continued on the road. No matter how formidable a tank is, if it becomes trapped like this, it is beyond rescue. Sure enough, moments later, the Ukrainian drone operator realized that the abandoned tank on the battlefield was a very tempting prize, and immediately sent a drone equipped with explosives towards it. The drone landed directly behind the tank's turret. It didn't take long for the tank to burst into flames. A few minutes later, the tank was reduced to charred wreckage. Meanwhile, the area was littered with damaged and destroyed vehicles. The survivors attempted to flee. The command drone operator gave the order to survey the battlefield with a reconnaissance drone and quickly clear the area of the Russian equipment destroyed by their failed attack. After such an attack, it was certain that this equipment would no longer be functional. A closer view revealed the enormity of the explosion. Russia always tries to evacuate damaged armored vehicles. These vehicles are then repaired and sent back to the battlefield. That's why Ukraine always destroys them, even if they're damaged. As in this case, when the flames and smoke clear, we can be sure that this kind of damage is irreparable. A video from a surveillance drone shows a Russian tank firing at its soldiers at close range during an ambush in Ukraine. The video appears to show a fatal error that occurred outside Kyiv during an enemy fire incident. The ambush then occurred when a series of explosions hit the Russian tanks in a cluster, suspected to have been caused by drones and Ukrainian artillery. Russian casualty figures indicate that the Ukrainian ambush hit 7 BMP, 2 infantry fighting vehicles, and 1 BMD-2, plus 6 T-72 main battle tanks, complete with their crews. Drone footage shows a Russian tank being accidentally detonated by another Russian armored vehicle. The video shows Russian troops near a village west of Kyiv as they prepare to leave the capital after their failed attack on the Ukrainian capital. The tanks have been confirmed to be Russian, as both display a V symbol on the side of the vehicle. The symbol, often seen in footage or images of Russian armored vehicles deployed to Ukraine, represents the Russian Marines. There is speculation that this action may have been deliberate to disable the tank, preventing it from being used by Ukrainian forces who might attempt to capture it. Russian forces have largely captured the town of Bakhmut in Donbass after months of fighting, although Kyiv denies having completely lost control. Ukraine's intelligence chief, Major General Kirilo Budanov, said he expected his country to launch a long-awaited counteroffensive. In one footage, a tank is seen advancing through a landscape littered with shell craters. After about 15 seconds, the tank stops and opens fire at close range on a soldier walking away from it through a wooded area. The shell explodes near the soldier, sending up a cloud of dust, meaning it is unclear whether they survived. The footage appears to have been recorded by a drone belonging to Ukraine's 67th Brigade. They claim the tank and soldier are Russian, commenting, "Roska is a village of fools." The invasion of Ukraine and Russia's retreat from Kyiv is a continuation of Putin's failed plans for the capital. Russia's primary goal in the capital is to occupy the city and replace Ukrainian President Zelensky with a pro-Russian figure. Since that goal has not been achieved, Putin's new plan for defeating Ukraine appears to involve a regrouping and intensification of Russian forces in southwestern Ukraine. This plan appears to be confirmed by the Russian troops now leaving the capital and an 8-mile-long column of Russian tanks and armored vehicles that appears to be approaching southeastern Ukraine. The buildup of Russian forces in eastern Ukraine will allow Russia to concentrate its efforts in those regions of the country and thus unite the Donbass region with Crimea. Putin's new plan for Ukraine would allow Russia to create a division between western and eastern Ukraine, which would include the Donbass region, Mariupol, and Crimea. This statement comes after evidence emerged of violations of international humanitarian law by Russian forces in the city of Mariupol, which is now the center of Putin's new mission. Regarding Mariupol, President Zelensky publicly claimed that further evidence of war crimes had been found in the city. The Ukrainian military's successful advance into temporarily held Donetsk has also sparked a real panic among Russian troops, resulting in a friendly fire incident among their own units. The embarrassing incident reportedly occurred during the Russian troops' withdrawal from the village of Opitne, which Kremlin propagandists have described as a retreat to more advantageous positions. Their escape was so chaotic that they came under fire from their own artillery near Donetsk's notorious airport. The reason Russia attacked its own military was a serious problem with Russian communications. Dashcam footage of Russian soldiers riding ATV on a road deemed to be the highway of death in Pokrovsk has gone viral online as the clip shows destroyed or abandoned vehicles and soldiers. The post alleges that the Russians riding the ATV were chased by drones, and towards the end, An artillery shell landed near them, and the driver said he was wounded. The video comes as Moscow's forces continue to advance in Donetsk Oblast and approach Pokrovsk, a key point of the eastern offensive. The Highway of Death is significant because the video footage showing destroyed equipment and killed soldiers clearly illustrates the amount of fighting that took place near Pokrovsk, emphasizing the importance of the area. Furthermore, while it is not known whether the equipment strewn across the highway was Russian or Ukrainian, it does indicate that a significant amount of equipment was destroyed, contributing to the equipment shortage in Russia. As the war between Russia and Ukraine has escalated in recent months, and fighting in Donetsk has intensified, numerous videos depicting the path of death have emerged on X, formerly known as Twitter, depicting casualties in terms of equipment and troops. Pokrovsk, known as the Fortress City, located in central Ukraine, is a major shipping and distribution center for Ukrainian troops on the front lines and is connected to other defensive cities, including Slovyansk, Kramatorsk, Druzhkivka, and Kostiantynivka. Situated at the crossroads of highways and railways, its population has dwindled from a pre-war high of 60,000 to 11,000. It is also home to mines that supplied Kyiv's once massive steel industry. That's it for today. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to follow our channel, because it's going to be interesting.